Okay, sir, start பண்ணுங்க.
Okay. Good evening, scholars, alumni, all of you, on behalf of SEEEDS. நம்ம சீட்ஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி ப்ராப்பராக இன்றைக்கு வர நம்ம ஒரு 10 years ஆயிடுச்சு. இந்த இயர் நம்ம அதை 10th anniversary வர August 15th செலிப்ரேட் பண்ண இருக்கிறோம். ஸோ நியர்லி ஒரு 800 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து பெனிஃபிஷரியாக நீங்கள் வெவ்வேறு பிளாட்ஃபார்மில் வெவ்வேறு டிசிப்ளின் வேரியஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் அண்ட் காலேஜஸ் த்ரூ அவுட் தமிழ்நாடு எல்லாம் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க. சில பேர் கிராஜுவேட் ஆகிட்டு ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. நாட் ஓன்லி நம்ம எஜுகேஷன் மட்டும் அகடமிக் எஜுகேஷன் போதாது, நிறைய ஸ்கில் டெவலப்மெண்ட் வேணும் அப்படின்றது தான் நம்ம போர்டு மெம்பர்ஸ் வந்து ஆல்டர்னேட்டிவ் மந்த் ஆர் எவ்ரி மந்த் வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்கில் டெவலப்மெண்ட்டுக்காக நமக்கு ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து ஒரு ஃபேக்கல்ட்டிஸ் ஆர் ரிசோர்ஸ் பர்சன் மூலமாக கொடுத்துட்ருக்குறாங்க. ஸோ இது ஸ்பெசிஃபைடாக சில ட்ரைனிங் தான் இருக்கும், அதர்வைஸ் எல்லாமே காமனாக இருக்கும். இப்போ சார் இன்னைக்கு கொடுக்கறது வந்து ஏஐ டூல்ஸ் வந்து நம்ம எப்படியெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படின்றது தான். ஸோ எல்லா பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் ஈவன் நர்சிங் எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுமே நீங்கள் பயன்படுத்திக்கலாம். உங்களோட ஃபீல்டுக்கு எப்படி ப்ளேஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றத நீங்கள் கொஸ்டின் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மீன்வைல் அதர்வைஸ் மீட் பண்ணிட்டு நீங்கள் பண்ணலாம். அட் எண்ட் ஆஃப் த இது வந்து Q&A இருக்கும், சார்கிட்ட நீங்கள் கொஸ்டின் பண்ணலாம். சார் வந்து யாருன்னு கேட்டோம்னா, சார் வந்து யூகேலேருந்து மிஸ்டர் ராகவன், யூகேலேருந்து இன்னைக்கு நமக்கு ஃபெசிலிட்டேட் பண்ணுறாங்க இந்த டைட்டிலில் ஏஐ ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் ஃபார் டிகிரி ஹோல்டர்ஸ். உங்களுக்கு சார் வந்து ஒரு 28 இயர்ஸை வந்து இந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர் இன்ஜினியர் ஃபீல்டில் ஒரு வெர்சடைல் பர்சன்ஸாக இருக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு லாங் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்குது அவங்களுக்கு. ஒரு டைரக்டராக ஒரு கம்பெனிஸில் எக்ஸ்பீடியா கம்பெனியில் வந்து டைரக்டராக இருக்கிறாங்க. ஆல்சோ கோ ஃபவுண்டராக வந்து டிஜின்ற கம்பெனிலையும் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஒன் மோர் திங், நம்ம வைஸ் பிரசிடென்ட் மிஸ்ஸஸ் நிவேதா மேடத்தோட எல்டர் பிரதர் சார் வந்து, ஸோ அவங்களோட பல ஒர்க்குக்கு இடையிலையும் பணிக்கு இடையிலையும் உங்களுக்கு இன்னைக்கு இது பற்றி கொடுக்கறதுக்கு வந்திருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்களோட அந்த கண்டென்ட்டை ஃபுல்லாகவே நீங்கள் ரிசீவ் பண்ணிட்டு உங்களுக்கு எப்போல்லாம் கொஸ்டின் வேணுமோ நீங்கள் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸோ வி கிவ் எ வார்ம் வெல்கம் சார் ஃபார் டுடேஸ் செஷன். கோ அஹெட் சார்.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. So this is 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour? எவ்வளோ நேரம்?
ஈவன் 1 hour வர எடுத்துக்கலாம் சார்.
Okay. Cool. So, hello everyone. என்னுடைய பேர் ராகவன். இது வந்து இந்த ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் நான் கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷ்லேயும் தமிழ்லையும் கலந்து சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ சில டேர்ம்ஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் ஈஸியாக இருக்கும். இந்த ப்ரெசன்டேஷனோட முக்கிய மெயின் ரீசன் வந்து இஸ் ஹெல்ப் யூ. என்னட்ட நிவேதிகா கேட்டது வந்து, கேன் யூ tell them which jobs are impacted, or in the career, in the particular job title may be impacted or AI. And I thought அதையும் சொல்லிட்டு, பட் ஆல்சோ இந்த சொல்லுவாங்க தானே, மீனை கொடுக்குறது பதிலாக மீன் எப்படி மீனை பிடிக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்தா, தென் இன் ஃபியூச்சர் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் வந்து how to go and find out எந்தெந்த கேரியர்ஸ், எந்தெந்த ஜாப்ஸ் வந்து will be impacted more, right? So we'll go into the presentation. So I've been a director in a company, and I have used AI hands-on, various different AI. So I can see the potential of AI and the impact, and also I also see people are talking at first layer. So we have to deep dive, right? So let's go inside. Okay. The question everyone is asking, will AI take my job? Can you all see my screen? In the screen, Tarida?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Will AI take my job? Is my degree still relevant? What should I do right now? Right. So the overall answer is, AI is not replacing careers. It is redesigning them. 1970s, when you had calculators were invented, people said, okay, accounting is going to be gone. Accounting is done. Accountants will not have jobs anymore. It didn't happen. Instead, what calculators did was, it sped up what accountants were doing. If they were able to handle 10 clients in a week, now they are able to handle 12 or 13. So it sped up, but whenever a new thing comes in, people immediately panic and talk without fully understanding, fully doing critical thinking, and they just unnecessarily panic. The second, then computers came and everybody said, okay, everything is now automated. People are going to be run out of job. But what happened really? It created a big industry. Even if you take India, when economy was open in 1996, all these IT jobs and everything came in and India developed is mainly because of computers. So it didn't impact negatively, but it impacted a big country like India much more positively, right? Now with AI, I would not say exactly the same thing, but it is, we have to do lots of critical thinking on what AI can do, what AI cannot do now, maybe in 10 years, in 20 years, and how it's going to impact, right? It will definitely create an alternative domain, alternative expertise domain, like how software engineering is. Now AI is going to create another place, another domain, which also is going to boom. At the same time, it will have some impact as well. Let's see what those impacts are. Now, what's actually happening in India? AI adoption is accelerating across industries, India, and also across the world, right? Most companies are already using AI tools, but the hiring is shifting from degrees to skills. Last 3 weeks, I had opportunity to interview for SRE. SRE means Site Reliability Engineers. I interviewed DevOps role. I interviewed for full stack role. One of the main question I ask is, besides their CVs and where they study and their experience and test their knowledge, are you learning AI? And sometimes I'm surprised some people say that, no, I'm not, because they think that if I have my SRE skills, that's enough. If I have my DevOps skill, that's enough. If I have my programming skill, that's enough. If I have my testing or development skill, that's enough. Or if I'm an accountant, that's enough. I don't need to. So, but what companies are looking for is not degrees. What skill you have, especially with related to AI. The reason is, if you look at all the big companies, the CEOs are asking the entire company, not just software side, to have AI goals. That means whether you are a software team, whether you are in an accounting team, whether you are an HR team, whether you are a legal team, whether you are on product team, the leaders want you to know and learn AI so you can use AI in your respective areas to speed your delivery, right? So to increase your productivity. So nobody is no longer looking for your degrees. They're looking for your degree and what skill you're bringing, right? So opportunity is increasing, but so is competition as well. We will talk more in the future. This is a simple slide to show current impact of AI in India, specifically India, right? You all know the companies on the left-hand side: TCS, Infosys, HCL, Mindtree, Wipro, all these companies, and they are impacted. The numbers you see are not number of people who lost jobs or anything. It's basically the amount of money they lost because of AI, because the projects. So, for example, TCS 70,481 crores, right? That's almost equal to $750 million. Now, why they are losing money? Before, all these companies are giving people to other multinational companies and saying, okay, we will give you 100 people, 500 people for projects. Now, those companies are coming back and saying, hey, for this project, you gave me 100 people, but I'm giving you now AI tools. Why do you need 100 people? 40 is enough, 50 is enough. So they lose money, which is because the argument is right. You can use AI to reduce your work or speed up your work. So maybe you need less people, right? So this is a simple example, the impact that we are seeing right now, but we will dig further deep in a couple of slides later. So I also want to show you, as I mentioned before, I don't want to give you a ready-made answer like, okay, this title, okay, this is impacted. If it's accountancy, this is impacted or not, right? I want to show you how to even you yourself go and find out what's happening. So Anthropic is one of the leading AI company in the world, right? And what they're saying is they're using their data, that how people across the world are using the API. And where India stands, it's at 111 out of 116 top countries using AI, using their AI, right? Now, what does that mean? What does that mean when we see this impact, this level of impact, but Anthropic is saying, hey, we are expecting India to be over here. Can you see my graph on the page? I switched my screen. Can you see it's saying India?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
so what I'm trying to say is, this is where they're expecting India to be in the usage, but India is over here, 0.22. It's the usage is they're at 111th position out of 116. So if this at this level, if you're seeing impact like what I showed before, think about when it's come to 1. But for you, your question is, hey, I'm studying for accounts, I'm studying an MBA, I'm studying business management. Am I impacted? One way you can look at is go to the first country, that's Israel. Second is Singapore and US, right? Now, go to US or go to Singapore or Israel and see where they are actually using, because Israel is using AI more than expected. They are at 4.90. They expected at 1, right? So which means that now you can go and see, okay, where the countries that are using AI the most, where they are using. You can go and see here. Academic assignments, translate text, excuse me, debug, fix, refactor code, so software, troubleshoot, assist with business planning. You can click here. I will send you all the links after the session. You can click here. For example, if I say assist with business planning, within that, which domain, what are they using? Like perform corporate financial analysis and business research. This percentage is being used, right? So you know where in and what type of category they're using. Either you can group by category. You can say office and administrative support. Okay, how they are using. Word processing, okay, secretaries or office clerk in general, reservation, transport, right? Now, another thing I want to quickly show you is this one. This is very important because if I search for nurse, right? Now, nurse practitioners, health practitioners and technical nurse practitioners, or you can say, so here, there are different boxes. The first box says directive, it's in green color, which means prescribe medication dosage, routes, and frequencies based on patient characteristics such as age, gender. And this is fully automated using AI in certain countries. So this is an overall, right? And this one, analyze and interpret patient history, symptoms, physical findings, or diagnostic information to develop appropriate diagnosis. And this is not fully automated. Directive says 16%, which means 16% is almost automated without human intervention. The rest, like learning, means the AI is learning about this thing. Task iteration means with human input, it's actually learning how to do the task, right? So here you can search for any job category and see how and where the impact is overall across global. So you know exactly, okay, how in a progressive manner this is going to be impacted, right? I'll send you the link so you can take a look. So AI changes task, not entire job. இப்போ ஏஐ வந்து என்ன இம்பேக்ட் பண்ணா, இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு டீச்சிங் ஜாப் ஒன்று எடுத்தா ஒரு டீச்சரோட என்டையர் ஒர்க்கை வந்து நீங்கள் ஒரு சின்ன சின்ன வேலையாக பிரித்தா ஒரு 70 சின்ன சின்ன வேலைகள் இருக்குன்னு வைங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சிலபஸ் கிரியேட் பண்ணுறது, இல்லாட்டி இன்றைக்கு என்ன பாடம் நடத்துகிறன்றதை ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி ஸ்லைடில் வச்சிருக்கிறது. ஹோம்ஒர்க் கரெக்ட் பண்ணுறது, ஹோம்ஒர்க் என்ன கொடுக்கணுமென்று ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறது, கிளாஸுக்கு வந்து கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறது, கிளாஸில் வந்து யார் கேட்கினோம் யார் கேட்காம இருக்கணும், பிள்ளைகளை அசஸ் பண்ணுறது, யார் குழப்படி பண்ணினோம் அவையில் இது யூனோ ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுறது, கிளாஸ் முடிஞ்ச பிறகு அடுத்த லெசனுக்கு என்ன ப்ரிப்பேர், அப்படி ஒரு 70 டாஸ்க் இருக்குண்டா. ஏஐ வந்து ஏஐ இஸ் இம்பேக்டிங் ஹியர் இஸ் ரிப்பெட்டிட்டிவ் டாஸ்க். எங்கெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு வேலையை திரும்ப திரும்ப அதே வேலையை நீங்கள் தினமும் செய்யணுமென்று எங்கே இருக்கோ அங்கே ஏஐயோட தாக்கம் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். த இம்பேக்ட் வில் பி மோ. இப்போ உதாரணத்துக்கு நான் இன்றைக்கு என்ன சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் கிளாஸில் சொல்ல போகிறேன்றதை நான் ஏஐட்ட வந்து இதுதான் டாபிக், 45 மினிட்ஸ் நான் இந்த டாப்பிக்கை பற்றி இன்றைக்கி கிளாஸில் எடுக்கணும், இது 5ஆம் வகுப்பு பிள்ளைகளுக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் மீடியம், இதுதான் சயின்ஸ், இது இந்த டாபிக். ஏஐ கேன் ப்ரிப்பேர் பர்ஃபெக்ட்லி 45 மினிட்ஸ் என்னென்ன எடுக்கணுன்றதை ஈஸியாக இது பண்ணலாம், ரைட்? அது வந்து ஃபுல்லாக ஆட்டோமேட் பண்ணலாம். பட் கிளாஸில் வந்து students வந்து if they are not if they are unruly or making noise, AI cannot handle that, right? So repetitive task எதெல்லாம் திரும்ப திரும்ப செய்கிற மாதிரி இருக்குமோ அது வந்து AI தாக்கம் கூடமாக இருக்கும். அனலிட்டிக்கல் டாஸ்க் வந்து அனலிட்டிக்கல் டாஸ்க்ண்டா இப்போ ஒரு பெரிய ப்ராப்ளத்தை சின்ன ப்ராப்ளமாக மாற்றி அதை எப்படி சால்வ் பண்ணுறது, அந்த மாதிரி டாஸ்க்கு வந்து AI can assist you. It can research and give you something, but you will do the majority of the work, right? That's the analytical task. Human task வந்து more valuable task are human task. Example, நான் முதல்ல சொன்ன மாதிரி writing reports or preparing a teacher preparing for today one particular subject, right? Second, coding. இப்போ co-pilot and கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. There's pilot and there's co-pilot. The reason they made it call it co-pilot, it means it's only assisting a developer. It's not the developer, it's assisting the developer. So it's AI assisted. டிசிஷன் மேக்கிங் வந்து ஹியூமன் லெட். இப்போ ஒரு கிளாஸ் ரூமில் வந்து இந்த படியே வந்து இன்றைக்கு இந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து இன்றைக்கு நிறைய கேள்வி கேட்கல, இவர் நிறைய நல்ல கேள்வி கேட்குறார், ஸோ திஸ் கா இஸ் வெரி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங், இஸ் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட் இன் திஸ் டாபிக், இவர் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஊக்கப்படுத்தி இந்த டாப்பிக்கில் அதெல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி டிசிஷன் மேக்கிங் ஏஐ கேனாட் டூ அட் த மூமெண்ட், right? அது வந்து human led. So the takeaway is your job won't disappear, but parts of it will disappear, which is exposed to AI the most, mostly the repetitive task. அது எந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரியா இருக்கலாம், அக்கௌண்டிங்கா இருக்கலாம், ஹெச்ஆரா இருக்கலாம், லீகலா இருக்கலாம், anything where it's more repetitive work will be impacted. ஸோ டாஸ்க் லெவல்னு வரும்போது அது என்ன, what is the meaning of task? Exposure is typically defined at the task level. நான் முதல்ல சொன்ன மாதிரி எக்ஸ்போஷர்ண்டா இங்கே இந்த வேர்டு என்ன மீனிங்ண்டா, இப்போ நான் ஒரு டீச்சரோட என்டையர் டாஸ்க் அந்த டீச்சரோட வேலை ஃபுல்லாக 70 டாஸ்க் தான் ஒரு டீச்சரோட ஃபுல் வேலை. அது என்ன வேலையாக இருக்கலாம், ஹோம்ஒர்க் கொடுக்குறது, படிப்பிக்கிறது, ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறதுண்டா அதில் எந்தெந்த டாஸ்க் எக்ஸ்போஷர் ஹையாக இருக்குன்னு பார்க்குறது, ரைட்? Then if exposure is high to AI, then AI can do that work. இப்போ one example I said, AI can grade homework. இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு ஹோம்ஒர்க்கை வந்து ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டரில் செய்கிறீங்க, இல்லாட்டி வந்து ஒரு ஃபார்மேட்டட் ஷீட்டில் செய்கிறீங்கன்னா ஏஐட்ட கொடுத்தா ஏஐ ஸ்கேன் பண்ணிவிட்டு இட் கேன் கரெக்ட் த ஹோம்ஒர்க், நீங்கள் செய்ய தேவையில்ல. பட் இட் கேனாட் மேனேஜ் அ கிளாஸ் ரூம். அதான் முதல்ல சொன்னேன், இப்போ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கத்திட்டு இருக்காங்களா அதுதான்டா they won't AI cannot handle that, right? So teachers are considered less exposed than workers whose entire job can be performed remotely. So this is one way of explaining. Okay, ஒரு வேலண்ட் வரும்போது எங்கே வந்து AI இம்பேக்ட் ஆகிருக்கும், right? But it's not completely true that AI cannot even handle unruly students and other things. I'll give some example later. But the thing is, it's not happening now. It can only do certain things at the moment. So AI capability என்னன்னு வரும்போது AI is far from reaching its theoretical capability. Theoretical capability என்னன்னா ஏஐயால என்ன செய்ய முடியும்னு நாங்க தியரிட்டிக்கலா யோசிச்சா அது அது என்னென்னலாம் செய்ய முடியுமோ அதுதான் தியரிட்டிக்கல் கேப்பபிலிட்டி. ஆனால் உண்மையாக என்ன செய்யுதுன்றது வந்து ஆக்சுவல் கவரேஜ். ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ நாங்கள் என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம்னா தியரிட்டிக்கலாக ஒவ்வொரு ஜாப் கேட்டகரியிலையும் எவ்வளவு ரேஞ்சுக்கு ஏஐயால் பெனட்ரேட் பண்ண முடியுமென்றும் இப்போ ஒவ்வொரு ஜாப் கேட்டகரியிலையும் எவ்வளவு ஏஐ பெனட்ரேட் ஆயிருக்குன்றும் we will see. So actual coverage remains a fraction of what's feasible. ஏஐயால ஒவ்வொரு வேலை கேட்டகரியிலையும் எவ்வளவுக்கு they can actually AI can replace, but உண்மையை பார்த்தா it's only fractionable level it is covering right now. So occupation with higher observed exposure are projected by BLS to grow less through 2034. என்ன மீனிங்னா any occupation where it's exposed to AI in a high percentage, the number of job openings in those categories will slow down all through 2034. அதுக்கு பிறகு maybe it will slow down further. So அது வந்து we will see by category. இப்போ இதுக்கு அடுத்த ஸ்லைட் ஒன்று இருக்கு, I'll explain you. So actual well theoretical we will see one more example. ஏன் வந்து அந்த ஆக்சுவல் வெஸ் தியரிட்டிக்கல் டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்குன்றது, ரைட்? இப்போ வந்து நான் உங்களுக்கு சொன்னான் டீச்சரோட எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஐ கேவ். I'll give you that another example. So for example, take what do you call pharmacist, right? ஒரு pharmacist கிட்ட போய் நீங்க ஒரு prescription கொடுத்தா what they have to do, take the prescription, read it, understand what is there, go and check if the prescription for this has come, அதை compare பண்ணிட்டு they have to check if this and exactly matches that medicine, and if it is the right medicine, they also have to check if the person is the right person, then bring the medicine, cross check, get the payment and give it back, right? This is theoretically AI can do most of this work. It can do payment, it can read the transcript, it can check, it can do all of this. But is it happening now? No. So that's a difference between actual and theoretical. Why ஏன் நடக்காம இருக்குன்னா either limitation on the AI. Maybe there is no model that can do this. Or there may be legal limitation. There might be legal, there may be laws which says you cannot use AI in medical field because of the risk. I'm just saying why there's a big difference, right? Or there may be some human verification or other hurdles. Because இப்போ வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒவ்வொரு countryயும் they are worried because of AI, if people are going to lose job, then they will look for every opportunities, the governments, to pass laws where you can and you cannot use AI, right? ஸோ இதுதான் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் உங்களுக்கு சொன்னேன். இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ப்ரிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் கொண்டு கொடுக்கும்போது இஃப் தே ஹாவ் டு கிவ் த மெடிசன், தென் they haven't observed. For example, Claude is the AI performing this task. So Anna, if you think can you automate this task, you can using AI, right? So இது வந்து ஒரு very very important graph. This is from Anthropic. Anthropic is the one which owns Claude LLM. இதில் என்ன இது வந்து this is why I use the term critical thinking, right? People will always say that oh okay, you know, AI வந்துடுது, எல்லாம் முடிஞ்சுது, you know, எல்லாட வேலையும் போகுது, people are going to lose job. But you are all educated, you have to do critical thinking. Critical thinking ena you ask question, you know, what does it mean people are going to lose job? How? What it can do now? What? Show me evidence what it is doing now. Show me evidence that AI is completely replaced a particular person's full job, right? So what you're seeing here is a graph produced by research work and some data from LLM, the AI usage from Anthropic. So in the circle, various job categories, right? And you see this, for example, sorry, go ahead. Yeah. So you see this, right? Computer science, computer and maths. In the blue, theoretically, what AI can do, how much of your
Hello.
சார் கேக்குதா? என்னாச்சு சார்?
Yeah, I think அவரோட நெட்வொர்க் அவரோட கனெக்ஷன் ட்ராப் ஆயிடுச்சு.
கால் பண்ணட்டா அவருக்கு?
Yeah, sure.
ஓகே, வெயிட் பிரசாத் அண்ணா.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's joining பிரசாத் அண்ணா.
Okay, thank you.
கட் ஆயிருச்சு. Yeah. இதுதான் மெடிக்கல் ப்ரொஃபஷனல். எவ்வளோ குயிக்கா ரீஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டேன் நான். இதுதான் ஐடி வெரி ஸ்லோவா.
Let Ragavan come.
ஓகே, பாய்.
So students, how is it so far? எல்லாரும் சைலண்டா இருக்கீங்க.
இப்போ அன்மியூட் பண்ணி ஆன்சர் பண்ணுங்க சார், கேக்குறாங்கல்ல.
இவ்வளவு நேரம் சார் சொன்னார் இல்லையா, என்ன புரிஞ்சது, கிரக்ஸ்? Okay, expecting to listen more. Yeah.
தாமோதரன்,
Good. I'm just seeing.
Okay,
So,
give me 30 seconds. I'll join again on the laptop. Okay.
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The question.
We'll go through the question. If it'll connect on, we can. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one interesting question. We can answer it during your Q&A session. Yeah. Continue, Raghavan.
Okay. Just give me one more minute. Okay. So I'll continue on my phone, but once my laptop connects, I will share it. So basically, anyway, I will send the PDF. Basically, when I was showing you the blue and red, uh, the amount of actual usage compared to what is the theoretically possible AI usage across different domain is right now, according to Anthropic, which is the number one AI company in the world at the moment, is very fractionable. If you look at computer industry, the highest potential is, according to them, is 94%. Right now, it's around close to 33%. So the reason I explained computer science is the easiest domain where AI can penetrate is for computer software, right? But even in software, even though highest potential is 94%, but we are only at 33% at this moment, at the peak of AI. So compare other industries, like for example, agriculture, office admin is 94%, where actual usage is around again 33%. And education is around 80%. Social service, these are all potential, but actual usage is less than 20. And the key thing is the usage. When I say usage, people are using it, but still not 100% 100% replaced a particular task, right? So, if I tell the screen again.
Yeah, tell you. We can see.
So this is important. I'll send you this thing. So this is the current status, right? This is what people are actually complaining, like, oh, AI is going to come and eat everybody's job. But the reality is, this is the current reality. And one more disclaimer, like, for example, if you take agriculture, the potential for AI to penetrate in agriculture industry is less than 20%, right? But it's almost zero, almost maybe 1%, 2%. But that doesn't mean that agriculture industry is free from technological advancement and reduction of jobs, right? Because we are only talking about AI, but there is also another domain called automation. எத்தனை பேர் நீங்கள் நாற்று நட்டுருப்பீங்களே தெரியும், நான் நட்டுருக்கேன். ஸோ நீங்கள் ஒரு வயலில் போய் நாற்று நடுறாண்டா ஒரு 20 பேர் லைனாக நின்று நாற்று நடலாம். கடலை செடி அறுவடை செய்கிறாண்டா அதை பிடுங்கி அந்த கடையில் எடுத்து வைக்கணும், ரைட்? அதெல்லாம் வந்து இவ்வளோ நாளும் மேனுவலாக செஞ்சுட்டு இருந்தாங்க. இப்போ there are machines that can do it. There are machines that can plug. இல்லை ஆப்பிளில் வந்து ஆப்பிள் ட்ரீலேருந்து எடுக்கலாம், மரத்தை வெட்டலாம், எல்லாத்துக்கும் மெஷின் வந்துடுது. பட் we are in the presentationல we are not talking about that. So just because it's less than 20 doesn't mean these are free from any impact. Just want to mention it as a disclaimer. Okay. So this is an important slide. I will send it so we can, you can look at it. This is also from Anthropic actually. Now, a job's exposure is high. Any job, not necessarily software, if it meets these conditions. நீங்க இந்த ரூலை உங்களோட ப்ரொஃபஷனுக்கு நீங்க அப்ளை பண்ணி பார்க்கலாம். If its tasks are theoretically possible with AI. இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் அட்மின், ஒரு நர்ஸ், ஒரு டீச்சர், ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், as I said, உங்களோட வேலையை நீங்க ஒரு டாஸ்காக ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா, as a nurse or as a computer science software engineer, you do like 50 tasks. அதில் எத்தனை வந்து theoretically AI can replace. So the more task AI can replace, like 50% of my task, then that job is at risk. If you take computer science, right, you already see 94% theoretically possible, but we are only at 33% AI is impacting. So the second one is that task sees significant usage in Anthropic Economic Index. So Anthropic Economic Index, this is an economic index. No, sorry, this is not an economic index. Economic index is what I showed you at the beginning, where it's over here, right? So these are the tasks, right? Then there is a high chance that it may be impacted. Its tasks are performed in work-related context. I mean, I can use AI for my home personal things, but work-related, performed in work-related context, then there's high chance. It has relatively higher share of automated use pattern or API implementation. This is a very key thing that you need to understand. It's a technical thing, but understand it. I'll see if I can explain. I'm sure many of you might have used Jira, Atlassian product for creating tickets, stories, other things, right? Or other one, right now, in any company, you will go and manually create a ticket. Okay, in the task is done requirement. Okay, and you put it, you create, and you give it to developers, or they will work on it and do it, right? But what they are saying is, if this task is part of a tool and it has an API behind it, then AI can use the same API that humans are using to automate it. And there's a concept called MCP server. That's a more technical side of AI. So any task that your job is doing that has an API or automated use pattern that it can be automated, then AI can do it, right? AI impact tasks make up largest share of overall role. One example is computer science, right? 94%. 94% of work AI can do it, then obviously it's going to be impacted. Yeah. So one example, I think, share of what I'm, yeah. One example I mentioned at the beginning, where a teacher can, a teacher's job, for example, AI can do the preparation and other things, but when students are unruly, it cannot. But if you look really deep, that, again, critical thinking, right? It really cannot do it. In China, I've seen a video where they observe lorry drivers' face as they drive, and it can detect how frequently they are blinking, and they can see this guy is going to sleep as they drive. That's AI, and it's already in use. Why do we think we cannot use this in classroom where there's a video and it can detect people's face and see who's asking more questions? Okay, person X is asked more questions. He is more interested in this topic. Or person Y is moving around and shouting. So it can detect people and send a report to maybe the teacher, right? So the possibilities are high, but when this will happen, what I described, maybe it will take another 20 years. I don't know. Or maybe there was a law which says you cannot use this in classroom, right? But these are the some rules that you can use to see if your job is in risk or not. So these are some of the top exposed occupation. When I use the word exposed, which means exposed to AI, that AI has higher potential to automate the task within these job categories. Computer programmers, 74%. You can see all the tasks here, right? Customer service. So this is not the physical customer service, but this is you're answering by telephone or chat. So now AI can do over bot and other things, chatbot, right? And these are the top. The bottommost are like, for example, cook, motorcycle mechanics or mechanics, lifeguards, bartenders, and other things, right? So this is another important one I want to show is the projection. This is for US from Department of Commerce, 2024, 2034. What they're saying is for every 10 percentage point increase in AI coverage in a particular job category, then the job growth in that domain will reduce by 0.6%. So every 10%, like for example, if you see cashiers is negative, you're no longer going to have cashiers. It's going negative, right? Even though the exposure is not much, but you can see is going down. Customer service reps, exposure is high and it's still going down. Software developers at 15%, right? At the moment, we are seeing 15% growth for 2024, 2034. Maybe even before it might have been higher, but once the exposure is at like 7% or 0.7, the growth may come further down over here, 5%, 4%, 3%. Maybe in 30 years it may go negative. I don't know, right? But this is the model they are using to figure out how the growth is the job category growth is going to go in correlation with the penetration of AI in that particular domain. Okay. So now I'm going to, so I didn't want to just go with the title and say, oh, okay, how is it impacted? Initially, I wanted to show you so that you can continue to observe these blogs and tools from AI and continuously see how the trend is going, right? So you know how to catch a fish. You know how, hey, I know how my job is going to impact it because I'm looking at these tools, I'm looking at these jobs live. This is coming from AI companies and I can do my some common sense approach and I can see what is going to be impacted, right? So that's why so far what I shared. These are some group of jobs I want to just touch based on. Law, UPSC, governance, AI can read law but cannot argue it, right? Legal research AI can do. In drafting contracts, case summaries AI can do. Humans are needed for court arguments, policy decisions, ethical judgment. I was talking to a lawyer and I told him, hey, if I create an LLM with all the entire court case across UK since for 100 years, whenever they were recorded, and put it into an LLM. Now, if I have a case, I'll feed my entire case with all the evidence, everything, and ask AI, give me all the defense arguments that they're going to come and ask me. It can easily do it. Normally, for a big case, if there are 10 defense lawyers necessary, now I just need maybe one. So these are places where AI can make a big impact, and definitely that may result in the reduction in workforce, no doubt on that. So this is one example for law, right? But you always have to look at how we can pivot and change it so that you, as if you're studying for law, you can actually look at look, I'm going to look at how AI ethics are being handled in companies. I'm going to see how I can go into that particular segment because that's an emerging segment in law, right? Ethical AI. It's the field is called ethical AI. Is the AI doing whatever doing? Is it right? Is it legal? Is the data collection is correct? all of these is a new domain. If you are smart, you will say, oh, if AI is impacting in this area, I'm going to go in this area where there's more scope for it because of AI, and I can grow in that direction, right? Ethical AI is one example. So the second one is business commerce, MBA, CA from Excel work. So what is expected is from Excel work to strategic thinking, right? AI is replacing basic accounting, reports, routine analysis, right? But AI is creating financial strategy roles, risk and compliance, business analytics. So don't be the person who prepares the report, but the one who interprets them and plays a strategic role is where you have to pivot, because these things AI can do it much faster, more accurately than a human can do. Humanities like BA English, history, economics, psychology, the rise of meaning makers, right? Basic content writing, AI can do much faster. Simple research, it can do more superb, deep research than we can ever do, which might take a couple of weeks. AI is increasing demand for communication, storytelling, which is influencing behavioral insight and policy thinking. In a classroom or in a workplace, in a classroom, I can correct a mark sheet. That's not enough as a teacher. I have to look at face to face. Hello.
Deepthi, can you unmute? Sir, can you mute?
Yeah. So
Kalpana, mute பண்ணிடுங்க.
mute பண்ண முடியல சார்.
Okay.
It's okay. So basically, but a teacher has to look at the eye of a student and understand whether they understood the explanation or not. A cannot do. So there are certain things that you have to do where A cannot do. Storytelling, influencing, behavioral insight. That's what I just mentioned. Behavioral insight, that A cannot understand that emotion and what somebody's going through right now, and I explain things and understand and act accordingly, right? Policy thinking. So your strength is understanding humans, and that A cannot do. So that's another thing here on the humanities part, for example. On tech, like computer science, IT, BCA, data, AI, even coders are not safe. What we are saying is basic coding, debugging AI can do much faster. But AI is creating AI engineers, like how I mentioned in law, where I said about, there's a new domain called ethical AI, right? Now there is AI engineers, like how you had how software engineering evolved from software engineers to DevOps to SREs and machine learning expert, data scientists. Now AI is creating AI engineers, data scientists, and product thinkers. Why product thinkers? Now you can think nice, creative ideas, and AI can do it. But your job is to think more creatively and find out, hey, I can do there are problem space we never thought, like, we are going to spend some time resolving it. But now with AI, you don't have to worry. You just have to think creatively, come up with a flow, come up with a product idea, and then AI can do it for you. So that's where you're, as a human, that's where your value add is, right? So don't just learn coding, learn problem solving and system. Try to understand where you can make a big impact, where you can just use AI as an agent, right? As a coder. So core engineering like mechanical, civil, machines are getting smarter as well. So AI enabling smart factories, predictive maintenance, and robotics. So from engineer to system thinker, a system thinker is someone who can think all the components of the entire company and see as a whole, and see how they can see the problem across the board and solve it, right? Combine core engineering plus digital tools. So this is where the value add a human can bring, which AI cannot do. AI is, it works based on the context you are giving. That's all it can do, right? Healthcare and life sciences, AI as a co-pilot, not a doctor. Like, for example, it can detect disease. It can, for example, if you give a scan of a brain scan, of a cancer scan, before and after, it can see the diff and say like, okay, there's a difference. Or it can analyze and say, okay, I see there's a tumor, right? But suggest treatment, but human make the final decision, handle patients and ensure ethics. AI can maybe take blood pressure but to look at somebody's face and understand what that person is going through when you're analyzing, AI cannot do, and I don't think it will ever understand, because that involves emotion, right? So human care plus AI tool is future healthcare. You use AI to predict things more accurately, which is not, it is going to happen, and I think it's already happening. But where you can take a decision is on human relation decision, and also ensure ethics as well, right? The skill that will matter, right? Top skills across all degrees is analytical thinking. Analytical thinking, as I mentioned, is how you can take a problem, split into small problems, and see how you can solve it, right? Communication. AI cannot communicate. If AI can build you syllabus and what you are going to teach today, but it cannot talk to students in a way where they will listen, right? Problem solving. Problem solving is, AI is not going to think on its own and say, okay, I'm going to fix this. I see a problem. That only human can do. If you're in a big company and you're seeing, okay, things are going wrong on this place and this place, that only you can do. Adaptability. This is a very, very important keyword in any profession. Is you look where you are going to be in your title, in your job, what tasks are being eaten by AI. You understand that, then you move away from that and see which tasks are not, and you look at opportunities that you can create because of AI. As I mentioned, ethical AI is one example. Or like how software gave rise to companies like Zomato and HCL and Infosys and Google and Yahoo and other things. This is a time where you can think like, oh, okay, things were not possible in my domain because nobody can code, or nobody was thinking about. Now with AI, anybody can code. I have an idea, then I'm going to use AI to expand into that domain, so that whatever AI can do, you are replacing that with this new pivoted role. So it's important to adapt in this day and age, where you can make yourself more comfortable, so that you are always a sellable person. When I say sellable, because in any job right now, people are looking at, okay, do you know AI? In big companies, CEOs are asking like, everybody should have an AI goal, whether it's HR, whether it's legal, whether it's software, whether it's IT, whether it's marketing, anything, right? So which means that you are making yourself dependable in your organization. Oh, this person knows more about AI. So you're becoming a dependable person. So your job is safe. Digital and AI literacy. So this is another important thing. Like, you need to learn AI for sure, right? That's. But I want to mention that using ChatGPT is not. It's a beginning. It's like searching in Google. It's like saying I know how to search in Google. That's a level. If you say no, I can use ChatGPT, but there is much more in AI than ChatGPT, right? So you have to make yourself aware. What are the things in your domain in AI world that's emerging? Is there any LLM in accounting? Is there any LLM coming up in medicine? Is there any LLM coming up in accounting, or in medicine, or any other in school, in education, other thing? Okay, what it can do, what it cannot do, what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage, what is the blind spot there? So you become an SME, you become a subject matter expert in your own field with AI, then again, you are making yourself more sellable, that you will stand out among the other people, right? And decision making as well. Decision making you have to make, not AI. So hard to automate skill equal to job securities. That's what I'm saying. So you make yourself, you pivot yourself, adopt, learn AI, do critical thinking, look at which direction your job can move. Nobody's going to tell you, nobody need to tell you, because you can think like, okay, in accounting, we are doing these things for ages, for hundreds of years. Okay, what direction we can move with AI? And that's something you can think and move as well. So this is the golden rule of what skill that matter. It's not your degree that's enough. As I mentioned at the very beginning, is your AI skill as well. New career formula is BCom analytics business thinking, in BA English AI tools communication, engineering data system thinking. So this is what the future thing is going to look like. Hybrid, right? It's AI and what you can bring and what your domain knowledge can bring or what your education can bring. That's going to be the winning formula here. What you should do now is action plan for students is learn AI basics, learn how to use these things, at least learn what cloud is, go and look at their blog, what they're saying, where AI is going. So at least you know what's the impact of AI in your field, right? Apply it to your field. If you're in finance, investigate, like go and find out what AI tools are there for your law and engineering and other tools, and build proofs. It's no longer enough to just stick to your thing. You have maybe go to a code repository and try something and show it as a proof. When you go and apply for a job, they will be impressed, because they might think, oh, even though you are in law, you are actually showing interest in AI, and you have done an impressive work, and at least this is good. Okay, this is the person I want. So you're making yourself more sellable compared to the other people, right? So skills is greater than your marks. You can have 100% in your subjects, but that's not going to get you a job. What's going to get you a job is what extra you know in the AI field is, and show some proof that you showed interest and working towards that. The biggest mistake to avoid is don't wait for syllabus to change. Okay, and I'm studying this, our syllabus didn't change, let me wait until. No, internet is there are enough resource to learn. Only studying for exam, no. Again, no. Ignore technology, again, big no. Be curious, just go and learn, like understand. The biggest thing is the fear comes because of lack of understanding of something. When I say AI, people might be like, oh, okay, I don't know. No, the fear comes because you don't know that. Once you know, you will be the king. You know, you will be the subject matter expert. Just go and experiment, make it fail 100 times, 200 times, but you will get it, right? So learn continuously, reading, maybe a blog or a YouTube, just keep watching until you get it, is the way to go. And AI rewards proactive people, right? So the key thing is your advantage, you are early, you can adopt, you can lead. Why you are early? AI is emerging only now. Not everybody knows AI. Not everybody is hands-on AI. People, yeah. So start today, not after graduation. I think we can ask ready for questions. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few questions, Raghavan, in the chat. So is there any specific law? Looks like you mentioned that some laws are restrict the use of AI in some field.
So right now, if you look at any companies, there is a privacy. It's not a law. It's called GDPR in UK and Europe. It checks that you are handling private or personally identifiable information. You are handling in a more secure way. For example, if you're handling an email and a name, now I can associate that person's name with an email. And I have to handle it very, very carefully within a company. And I cannot even feed that to AI because AI might use it to train. So that's one example that there's a law that you have to be very careful about handling PII data. For example, another data could be a name with a credit card number. So now I can associate, oh, this person's name is associated with this credit card. I can correlate. That's a PII, personally identifiable information. So yes, it is not related to AI, but with AI, this is more important. But why I mentioned the law change is governments are looking for every opportunity to see how they can protect their workforce, because only if people have job, they will pay tax and government can run. So they will look for opportunities where they might say, okay, you cannot use AI in these critical medical field because we see there's a big risk, right? I have not heard of any such law yet. What I'm mentioning is maybe there will be in future, right? It's called regulation, not law, but kind of regulation. What are the difference between AI and ASI? What is the best for feature? Which will be AI, ASI? What is the expansion of ASI? Can you? I'm not clearly getting that. ASI.
Satish, can you type what do you mean by ASI? Okay, while Satish types, there are other few questions, Raghavan. Maybe you missed because you rejoined.
Okay.
In the current in the current world, AI is in the peak. If we want to work on AI platform, what qualities we need to improve on AI platform?
What qualities personally you have to develop? Is that the question?
I think so. Yes.
I mean, I think one of the slides said, be curious, right? Like, because when I started my hands-on, I didn't know anything about AI. Like, I just want to go and try it out, failed, and finally, I was able to build something. So, first, I would say just go and try how it's working. Just go and type something and see what it is giving you. Then you will get the hang of, oh, okay, this is what it is giving me. This is where it's lacking. You keep using it, and then you will understand what what level it can do. Like you can actually tell, go to ChatGPT and you can say, create a website with this instruction, with this color, with I should have 3 photos, I should have a contact page. It can give you. So you will first understand what it can do, understand the complete potential, then you will be amazed by it. Then you will be like, oh, okay, what's next? Go to a YouTube. And so it's, I would say, just your curiousness and your interest is the only thing that's necessary to learn. There's nothing else. You can learn Python, you can learn other things secondary. Yes, but if you know Python, is good. I think that's a good question. Another one I would suggest is, if you really want to deep dive and learn AI, it's good that if you know some programming, because AI, as I said, it can make things up. So if you know programming, then you can actually manually even fix things, correct things, whatever it's giving. So at least you will know, okay, what this is, what program is this is giving, if you're trying to ask to code something, right? So yeah, bit of programming is good, but I would say it's it's your eagerness, your inquisitiveness is the key thing. Yeah.
Okay. And moving on to next question. Will artificial intelligence affect human jobs in the future? I think you partly covered
Yeah.
this in the slides.
So that's the
This
whole
this came
thing. Yeah.
like half an hour before your slides. So.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I said, right? If I were you, I will keep looking at that. I'll send you the links for that, the opportunity and what it is actually currently covered, and in which direction it's going, right? So definitely there will be impact. I would be lying if I say no, but there are places where we already see complete replacement, repetitive task. evidence collection. Those things already AI can just do it much faster than human. But there are places like coding. People always say coding, coding, coding. AI can do coding. But it can code, it can generate now millions of lines of code much faster. But somebody has to review the code. Somebody has to test that code. So we have moved the optimization or the productive increase from coding, we moved it to reviewing and testing. So the net gain is not as big as we think. But people might not want to accept it, but that's a fact. It's not as big as the productivity increases because, yes, if I say something and give full detail, AI can generate the code for me. And I don't have to, maybe 99% of work, I don't have to do it. But somebody has to review the code. Now that it has generated more code, I have to spend more time reviewing it. Of course, I can have an AI review it as well. But somebody has to also test it, because if I push this to production, if it fails, I'm going to lose lots of money in my business if I'm an e-commerce website, right? So yeah, it is there will be impact, but we are not in a place where things are as aggressive as what people are thinking at the moment. Yeah.
And coming back to that question, ASI, artificial super intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just Googled it as well, but see, one thing, understand how LLM works. That's what everything behind AI, right? LLM is not it's not thinking and giving you answer. It's not thinking. It's purely doing one particular thing. You type something, it has billions and billions of data across the world, and it has created as a model. It'll go and look it up. I'm simplifying. It's go and look it up. It will, if you type a sentence, it'll take the first word or tokenize it, or it'll look it up. Then it'll look for the next high probable word and put it, and then take this and then again token, and then go and again search for it and look for the next highly probable word. And that's how it does. That's how LLM does, right? So it is not, so I can create an agent and say one agent is the code generator, other agent is a reviewer, and this agent can send the code to the reviewer. Reviewer can review and say, hey, you have to add this, and it'll go back. It doesn't mean they are thinking. They're not thinking at all, right? They're just looking at thing and say, okay, these are the things you're missing based on the model. It's like sending it to you. So yes, like for example, Claude declined to give their technology so that American Army can use it for autonomous robots that can go and just take a decision and kill people on its own, right? So yeah, we don't know which direction it's going to go, but definitely it can be more destructive, but also can be more positive experience as well.
Okay. There are more questions coming, so let's speed up.
Yeah.
In which forms or how can we use AI as an agent?
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupting, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hello, Ragavan, sir. I have a question for you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is Damodaran from Coimbatore City, and I'm currently pursuing second year BCom CA. And side by side, I'm doing content creation part-timely. So, இந்த மாதிரி பார்ட் டைம்ல நான் கான்டென்ட் கிரியேட் பண்ணும்போது மை கான்டென்ட்ஸ் ஆர் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் ஸ்டோரி டெல்லிங் அண்ட் ஹியூமன் சைக்காலஜி. ஸோ இதில் என்னோட கான்டென்ட்ஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் இப்போ நான் பார்க்குற விஷயங்களும் என்னோட சரௌண்டிங்ஸில் நடக்கக்கூடிய பீப்புளுக்கு நடக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்களையும் அண்ட் தென் சாட் ஜிபிடி ப்ளஸ் என்னோட ரியல் லைஃப் இன்சிடென்ட்ஸ் இது ரெண்டும் கம்பைன் பண்ணி தான் ஒரு கண்டென்ட்டை வந்து அவுட்புட்டாக ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணுறேன். ஸோ இதில் நான் எப்படி ஏஐ வச்சு இன்னும் பெட்டராக பண்ணலாம், அப்படி ஏஐ வச்சு பண்ணணும்னா நான் எந்தெந்த அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் நான் அப்ரோச் பண்ணலாம்? வாட் ஆர் த ஏஐ அப்ளிகேஷன் தட் யூஸ் டு பி இன் கான்டென்ட் கிரியேஷன்?
So when you create the content, right, make sure that after the content is created by AI, you first write it and give it to AI to rephrase it, but again put your own words, modify it, because now engines are much smarter in detecting AI generated content versus human generated content, and they may index human generated content more higher than
Okay.
AI generated content, right? Even there are website where you give a piece of text, it will say, no, this is AI generated. It's easier to do that, to detect homeworks made by ChatGPT and other things. You can use, there are lots of sites about creating images, videos. So those things you can use. I think, yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay,
Because
sir.
you're
Got it, sir.
only about blog, yeah. So somebody asked question on agent, right? In
Yeah.
AI, everything is an agent. An agent is in programming. An agent can do you can have multiple agent. One is a coder, one is a reviewer. Um, Take a low context, right? You can have an agent who's a defense agent, who's a defense attorney, and there's another agent who is asking the question. You can simulate and give the context about a case, and they can go back and forth automatically and see, like, you can actually see an argument happening in real term, what could happen in a real court case, right? So an agent is, anything can be an agent, is what I'm saying. It can be you can replace a human role equal to an agent, or agent can be a non-human thing as well. The recent one I created was I think one for code generation and for something, but yeah, these are some example I can give.
Okay, thank you. Moving to next one. What skills are required to build a career in AI?
Learn one programming language like Python. Like I'm saying, if you want to really deep dive and do something in AI, right? Python. I think that's all you need. And how to have a laptop or something, and how to go set it up, and develop, create an agent, or multiple agents, play around with. There are enough. I can maybe send it to Nivedita or somebody, or all the links. Whoever is interested, then you can go and, like, for example, Microsoft has a framework called AG2, right? Using which you can create multiple agents, they can talk with each other. One example, right? For example, you can have an interviewer and interviewee, and give the context saying what the interview is about, and you trigger it, and they can just keep talking back and forth, um, um, just for fun, for example, right? And you can have multiple agents where they can talk to each other, or you can define the sequence in what sequence they have to talk, because these are real world application, right? In software, you might have a requirement, and then it goes to somebody to write the description, and then somebody writes a test case, somebody generate the code for it, somebody generate test it, somebody release it. So there are multiple roles. So yeah, Python and maybe a laptop, and just pick one account in Anthropic, or maybe use Copilot, and keep trying that.
Yeah, I mean, you can use the free their tokens itself to use to build the AI. Once you reach the usage limit, then they may ask you to subscribe. You can just buy a cheap one. Say, for example, GitHub Copilot. It's like $10 per month. Per annum, it's $100. But that is worth in exploring how to use Copilot in for programming.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah, it's free most of the time, but if your usage is going high, then you might go for the pro version. Yeah.
Yeah. And next question, how long does it take for a beginner to understand AI basics?
I mean, it's how much time you spend, right? Like, it's I think if you spend, go to Udemy, there are lots of sessions, like 10-hour session, or maybe even 2-hour sessions. They clearly explain about the concept, how it works. So I would say like if you spend 1 or 2 days or maybe a week, you can easily get the concept.
Yeah, good. This is a very interesting question, Raghavan. Uh, Sir, you have mentioned, and it's also true that AI creates a risk and compliance on all levels. How strong the security system is developed till now? Is there any drawback that needs to be improved?
Definitely. One is the data, right? So, for example, if I'm using AI in my company and I'm putting some company data into that, they might use that to train their model, and in future they might end up in when you are asking ChatGPT, maybe your name might appear. I'm just exaggerating, but to get the point, right? So data privacy, very important, and people are very, very concerned about that. In terms of security, um, definitely that's a very, very serious issue. I mentioned a word called MCP, right? MCP is like a server. It's like your remote control for your TV, but for AI to talk to a service. Um, it can do a lot of damage if it is not implemented properly. You can just say go and delete things, but or if for example, you say go and create a Jira ticket. If AI interpreted incorrectly and instead calling create method, it called delete, it can go and delete things without you knowing it. So there are risks. There's no doubt there are risks, security risk, that it could do some damage. But it is an emerging space, so people are ready to take the risk. Even companies, they want to move fast and fail fast and see where things are working, where things are not working, so they can focus on where things are actually working and spend money and effort there.
Thank you, Raghavan. Thank you so much, Raghavan, for your time. Okay, one more question. A chart that explained the exposure of AI in different fields, but some of them don't have much exposure. In your opinion, what is the reason it didn't expose to AI? And is there any company who is working on some of these areas and trying to make them expose of AI?
Okay, so good question. So one example is agriculture industry, right? Where AI is not there, but not automation is there, but not AI, right? Other places are like, for example, installation and repair, construction. Why they are not there is they are more physical work. There's no software. Like you have to go to the site and work and put the brick there and construct it. The AI cannot do that, right? So these are some of the reason. Another example is personal care, right? Personal care, ground maintenance, protective service, food and serving. These involve human interaction. So there's no direct software there, like so that's the main reason there are less have less exposure to AI. But software on the other hand, it's pretty much software. There's nothing there, right? So is any company working on it? Yes, definitely. You might have seen robots playing football, right? So that's AI within a machine. There are companies building human-sized robots who can actually jump, run, maybe become future soldiers, right? So yeah, the industry is also moving in direction. There are Boston Dynamics and those kind of companies. Um, but yeah, these are some of the reasons why AI is not exposed in some of the fields, like agriculture and things. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's getting late for for students, and it's
Thank you very much.
getting to 10 o'clock. But students, on one thing, how many of you heard of uh, prompt engineering? You can just show thumbs up. Okay, good. only few thumbs ups came. So I would strongly recommend you guys should start with the prompt engineering. That is very simple, and there are a lot of websites, even Google, every website they offer free prompt engineering course. That will take only like few hours. It's not like few weeks or days, just a few hours. That should be a good starting point for to all of you to start using AI in your day-to-day life. Again, thank you so much, Raghavan, for your time and a very insightful session. Hope our students really enjoyed it. We will, if time permits, definitely we want to have more specific sessions in this field that will help our students.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a nice rest of the weekend for you. Okay. Good night, students.